a few minutes between meetings. Fortunately, this particular week, 4th of July week, especially when the 4th of July lands on one of the weekdays, it shortens up our work week. So kind of quiet this week so far. Now, I might have just jinxed myself saying that out loud, and now I'm going to have a running shit show tonight. But we shall see. In any case, I hope everyone's doing well. I turned my camera the wrong way. I was looking at the wrong side of the damn phone. The camera's over here. Hey, good morning, Skydive. Hey, oops. Hey, Billy, good morning. KP, what's going on? So, this incident in Idaho. Now, I had the opportunity to go to an active shooter class when I was in the Guard. I actually got invited by one of the other guardsmen who was doing a corporate security gig, and he had a background in God, he's always been a guardsman. He wasn't combat arms, but he wound up getting involved in like security certifications of some type. I don't remember how he took that path. Not law enforcement per se, but more the corporate side. And he invited a group of us, so we got to sit in, and it was an FBI agent and a SWAT team guy from Houston, and it was a whole 6-hour thing. Like, it was the whole freaking morning. And hey, oops. So, oops, actually, that has happened in other places. So the Memphis, I didn't even know about that. There was one in, hey, Little Lone. Yeah, no, skydive for sure. There was an incident in New York City back in the 80s where there was a fire, but I don't think that one was planned as hey Dan, was planned as an ambush. Like, he set fire to someone's car, and instead of the cops showing up, I guess he was waiting for cops, but the firefighters show up, so he shoots at them. And then, like, the whole city went against this guy. Like, they wound up figuring out what he looked like. They got a picture of the dude. And not everyone loves the cops, but everyone pretty much loves the firefighters, and they were pissed. And it's one of the few times I saw everyone in New York say, no, screw this guy. They wound up finding him, like, hiding in an abandoned building because he couldn't go to his own apartment because the neighbors were going to kick his ass. So there is precedent for this. It happens in Israel to the Israelis and in the Middle East a lot. If you've watched the movie Hunger Games, in the second to last movie, her friend from District 12 or Sector 12, wherever they were living, I forgot the character's name. He refers to it as a hummingbird trap, where you do something that sends everyone in a different direction or into a certain direction, either running away or running to something, and then another incident happens on top of it. There's precedent for that. Hey, Neil, what's going on? Hey, Lioness. That, like I said, it's happened before. What concerns me is the way we are right now as a country. 20, 30 years ago, everyone would look at that and say, that's ugly. That's horrendous. And you might get this one or two sociopaths who think it's great. But the majority of the country would be, no, that's not what we do. And I don't believe that's the case anymore. I honest to God believe there's some little whacked out Antifa or a Nazi or a jihadi, pick your enemy, right, is watching this going, wow, that's brilliant. We can set booby traps for cops or for someone else. And that's hard to prep for. So I went to the IED school in New Mexico at the college there, the university, and 6 of the guys were actually from the, Bridgeport SRT. So they are Bridgeport? It's right next to Boston. So those guys were actually chasing the bombers. And the bombs were supposed to go off simultaneously, and they didn't. But what they were going to do, to your point, is the plan was, while everyone was looking at Boston, these 2 brothers were supposed to go to New York and do that. What you're describing is basically do non-sequential detonations to booby trap, because everyone would think, oh, it's the Boston thing again, simultaneous, and then it's not. So the Boston group it wasn't the intent at Boston to do it, but they planned to do that in New York. They just never made it there because they got put on the news, and then everything kind of fell apart. But I will tell you what they did share with us, and it stuck with me after seeing that, was they knew what they were doing. I got to see a replica of how they built those devices. Now, to your point, who is behind them? Could be a variety of people, right? And I have my suspicions, which I won't say on YouTube so I don't get banned. But yeah, there are a lot of. The thing is, there's so much mental instability, so many people acting bizarrely, especially since the COVID shutdowns, that people are not right. Honest to God, I wonder, a lot of us are saying, oh, the Rona was an op to give us the medicine. And other people say the Rona was an op was a test of a bioweapon. And I'm right now, honest to God, I'm wondering if the whole Rona thing was meant to shut the world down so that people could be on social media and get manipulated. Because think about it, around the same time as when TikTok became big, around the same time was when this gender thing took off, around the same time were all the riots that happened. Like, the whole world lost its mind, and social media was behind a lot of it, or used to manipulate the people to do the things. It's hard to say. Yeah, no, for sure. But either way, one thing they did share, and I got to talk to this agent who was, it's just a guy, and he said he specialized in the psychology of mass murderers. That was kind of his thing. And he said, he told us in the class, he was like, I came out with my PhD, and I'm like, I have a PhD, I know everything. And he said, by my third case, he said, I realized I knew nothing. Because academically, what you learn in a book and what I saw firsthand, I sat there and went, wow, we really need to rethink what we're doing. And that was the first PhD guy that I've ever seen openly admit, I got this advanced degree, I came out all puffed up, and I didn't know shit. And I was like, okay, I could listen to this guy. This guy's okay. But he did say, so active shooters, one, they tend to be suicidal. Like, at the end of the day, their ultimate, in the back of their mind, they're expecting to not survive. Now, some of them self-delete, others get deleted, but either way, they are already accepted somewhere in their psyche that it's going to end badly for them, i.e. they're not here anymore. Two, they tend to telegraph. And when I say telegraph, hey, Green Thumb, what they tend to do is they start, I guess it's precursor behaviors. He said, for instance, let's say I decide I'm going to do X bad thing, and I know I may not survive after. I'm going to, get Ark-incited. Yeah, incited. I had to think about that one for a second. Some of them will start giving away valuable things. Oh, I want you to have my mom's jewelry. I want you to have my painting that I got from wherever. They start giving things away. They almost act, think of this way, they almost act like someone who has a fatal disease. Like, someone says to me, oh, hey Pete, sorry to say this, but you have stage whatever illness and you got a year to live. Well, if I know this for a fact, that it is my time, right? The curtain call is for me. I'm going to start doing certain things. Hey, Teresa, I'm going to start giving away valuables. I'm going to start giving away heirlooms for my granddaughter, for my sons and daughter, and you know, so on and so forth. They say a lot of these shooters will have done that, but since a lot of them are reclusive, they'll do it to a very small group. So that one recluse, exactly, Kane, that one recluse guy might have 5 friends, right? They're not all over Facebook other than ranting. Then comes number 3, they rant. As social media has developed, they will start ranting more and more. And they'll make ugly rants, especially recently they've been doing this. Now, some of them, if they're more, and again, I'm not a psychologist, I'm just conveying what this guy taught us. Sorry, Pete, you have patriotism. Man, I don't have my glasses, and I saw you have paranormalism, and I'm like, is there a ghost in my truck? Do I need to vacate my Land Cruiser? Because that would freak me out. But that's what happens when you can't see your chat. Either way, so if they're, how should I say it, religiously or politically motivated, they're going to start spouting out about that cause, whether it's jihadi or you know, gender or religion or whatever it is that's motivating them. They're going to start getting really loud on social media, which is what some of the federal AI was meant to track. Was, oh, this guy's talking a lot about burning down buildings, maybe we should go talk to this guy. What it wasn't meant to do, which is what happened, is now let's go investigate everybody, even if you did nothing. And so soccer mom puts, we're going to burn down the house, meaning her little girl's team is going to beat the other team. And now the CIA is or the FBI is at their house because they, you know, she put the word burn or bomb in their freaking text. So yeah, it's, anyway. And that's a whole nother video about government overreach I've yet to do. I need to invite like Mad Shad, Livingston Man, and Neil to one big conference. Hey, Psycho Billy, what's going on? Mountain Dew is the drink of champions. Mountain Dew. I'll tell you what, I'm not a fan of Mountain Dew. It just doesn't taste good to me for some reason. Don't know why. I'll tell you what, the Cokes from Mexico with real cane sugar, those are good. Anyway, going back to the original subject, they're going to start spouting out. They're going to start giving things away. They're very often accepting that they're not going to do well at the end of it. And I think it's no, that's true, Green Thumb. They've done that too. Right. So we had a bunch of jihadis come in the country that we are now kicking out, but they were investigating soccer mom. Didn't they go to Angry Prepper's house too? Or his apartment at some point? I swear he put it on a video. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong guy. I swear there were a few YouTubers. Yes, okay. Like Jason is like the most, he'd be the last one I'd look for, because if I was an FBI agent, I'd be like, this guy's just like talking shit to everybody. Like, you got to put moonshine in Mountain Dew. Oh, I know. Those of you who are in the Navy, I think Neil was a Navy guy. Soju. Put soju in the Mountain Dew. And then you'll be throwing up in the morning. Anyway, you don't put soju in Mountain Dew. That's a terrible idea. Soju is the devil. Arrest Somali cops in Michigan. Wait, they have Somali cops in Michigan? Like, not citizens. That's just wild. Oh, Army. Why did I think you were Navy? Anyway, you probably know what soju is anyway if you went overseas. And soju is the devil if you're not careful. Hey, Miko Wolf. So anyway, these kind of people, unfortunately, in the past, you'd read about the Unabomber in the newspaper or book and go, wow, that guy's crazy. Now this same person can put a whole manifesto online and then go do something horrendous. And by the time cops realize, wow, this guy has a manifesto out there, let's take it offline, and they take it offline, 1,000 people have read it. And out of that 1,000, you're going to have another psycho. And that, I think, is what concerns me the most. And this is very hard to prepare yourself for, right? Because you could be I'm parked in front of an Ace Hardware, right? You go to Ace Hardware and, Mufasa comes in there and starts shooting people. It's like, so a couple of, these are the pointers this guy gave us. This is also some pointers my corporate security guy gave us. So again, I'm not a specialist in this. I'm just conveying information you could probably find on your own if you dug a little bit. But one, be aware of your surroundings. We overuse the phrase situational awareness, but it's really important. Two, plan your trips, even the trip to the grocery store. If you don't have to linger there, don't linger, right? Now, there's some places you go to a flea market and it's a big mess of tents and stuff. You're going to be there an hour just trying to figure out what the hell is there. You go into United Pharmacy, you're going to whatever, Walmart, don't hang out. I don't like Walmart to begin with. So I'm not going to hang out at Walmart if I don't have business there. I'm going to be in and out. Even if I walk the store, I'm going to be in and out quick. Two, know where the exits are, right? Somebody starts shooting up the front of Walmart. I'm not going that way. I'm going the other way. Figure out where the emergency exits are. Three, if you can flee, just get the hell out. Okay? If you're cornered and you have the means to fight, great. But don't get in a gunfight, because remember, when the SWAT team comes, they don't know who's who. And what you don't want is civilian A was trying to stop bad guy B, and the cops saw both of them and shot them both because they didn't know who the hell was who. So yes, fight or flight. So they do the 3 steps: run, run, hide, and fight. Run away, let's leave the scene, and take who you can with you, but don't be a hero. If someone keels over on the floor in panic and you can't get them to move, don't get yourself killed trying to help them. Okay, take your people and get out. Lead by sporting goods, T-ball bats. I'll tell you what, a T-ball bat will give someone a correction in a heartbeat. 2, hide somewhere where they can't find you. Lock yourself in a supply closet, whatever, and then be quiet so they don't shoot up the door. 3 is fight. If you have no other choice and you're close enough, I mean, at that point, you may as well, because it's going to end badly anyway, so you may as well try to see if you're lucky, get rid of the person, or at least knock them down so you can run. They did point out that people who are running from the shooter were, 80% less likely to be fatally shot. Didn't mean you didn't get hurt, but you were 80% less likely to be fatally injured than people who just panicked and fell on the floor. And part of it is because a lot of active shooters are not trained. So they're going out angry and they're shooting easy targets. If you noticed in the few instances where, that was different. I just had the weirdest person walk in front of my truck. But okay, so it's that week. Anyway, a lot of these folks do not train, and when a civilian or a cop starts to shoot at them, they get completely screwed up. They can't stay. That guy freaked me out. Let me tell you what. They can't stay on target, and they can't stay on mission because they're really not trained. One of the few was the guy who was shooting people in the University of Texas Tower. He was a former Marine. Lee Harvey Oswald, former military. You have those that will finish the task and run. And a lot of them don't. So a lot of these guys, they start to panic. They think it's Call of Duty. So anyway, hey, some random dude. Bottom line is, folks, when stuff like this happens, it may give other people bad ideas. Watch your surroundings. Be ready to leave with your people. And if you go to the mall, and sometimes you get split up, right? The teenager wants to see shoes, mom has to go get new business clothes, whatever, and you get split up. Have a plan. Tell your teenagers, hey, if something goes down, get the hell out of the mall. Just get out of the mall, meet me at the car. Okay, everyone should know where the damn car was parked. Go to the car and I'll find you out there, and get the fuck out. That way you're not running through the mall looking for your wife or your husband or your kid, everyone leave and meet there. Because if everyone's going in different directions, it's way harder for the shooter to do what they're going to do. Again, other than that, it's really hard to prep for this kind of stuff. But remember, the psychology of these people, they do expect it to end badly for them. Whether they self-delete or the cops delete them, they don't expect to survive. And typically, they're not very well trained, but they are violent. And that makes up for the lack of training. Run, hide, fight, and don't stick around. Don't hang out. Don't be a hero, but defend yourself the best as you can. What was that? Hey, Miko, don't split up. You slap them besides the head and tell them to stay together. Right, and sometimes you can, sometimes you can. Hey, WROL, sometimes you can't, but park's in the same spot every single time, so we don't even have to. See, Andrea, that's a great idea too. But like both my sons, if we met at the mall, both were Cub Scouts, and now they're both Army guys, but they still have bug out bags in their, or they call them the bailout, get the fuck out bag, GTFO bag, in their vehicles. So even if we are together now as adults and something pops off, my son and I have already talked about it, and we're like, just everyone bail the building. His wife conceal carries, and I conceal carry, and my wife does, and he does when he's not in uniform. So it's kind of like we just fight our way out and we meet at the cars. And we always park within 2 spots of each other. So, but again, remember the psychology. And again, I'm not the psychologist. I'm sharing what these guys, these specialists told me. They are psychotic. They are suicidal. They typically will telegraph their intent either on social media or in person to their circle, and they'll start giving things away. Like a cancer patient who knows they're going to die, they want to give stuff away. They're going to exhibit those kind of behaviors before they act. That's not always the case, but the guy said 85-90% of the time that's what they've seen. He also said that it's rare that an active shooter gets caught alive anyway. Usually if they do catch them alive, they're all screwed up and they die later anyway. For instance, the guy in Pennsylvania shot at President Trump. He was knocked off the planet a second later. But at the same time, the other guy they caught, oh, what the hell was his name? They caught another guy. And I'm sure the psychologist had a field day with this guy because they caught him alive. And generally unharmed. He took a beating from a couple of cops while they subdued him. I bet there was all sorts of interesting information. So he was open-minded. That's so bad, Psychobilly. Yeah, train as much as you can. I've actually got videos on my channel where I was trying to draw with this kind of shirt from a concealed holster, and in drawing was fine. I couldn't reholster with one hand. I had to use 2 hands because the shirt fell over my holster once I drew my pistol. Something I hadn't thought about is, oh, now the fighting's over, I have to reholster, and I can't. Eloa Ministries, I have a video I saw yesterday, and look, I'm someone who I believe very much that a guy named Jesus walked this earth and changed everything. I'm not super churchy, but I do believe in demons and evil shit. And the guy I saw was something way beyond any, oh, that's a drug addict. Oh, that's mental illness. It was something else. And it freaked, that video, my wife saw it and she goes, holy shit. And she looks at me and her eyes were like that. And I'm like, what the hell do you want? Like, what are you doing? I'm watching, you know, Iron Man, and she's like freaking out. And she turned the screen and showed me the video. It was in Austin, Texas. Now, the guy was clearly crazy too, but his behavior, what he did was messed up. Green Thumb, I actually touched on that. I really think COVID, the Rona shutdowns had multiple things. We got medicine. A lot of people got medicines they weren't supposed to, and now they're dying. They're acting crazy. I also think locking us in allowed the populace to get manipulated by social media. And think about it. You separated parents, grandparents, and children. How do the ancient people pass knowledge? The elders pass it to the parents, pass it to the kids, and then the grandkids spend time with the grandparents. They broke that up. They broke it up. And so that knowledge didn't get passed down. And I honestly think that created a rift in our society, because now social media filled the void of the tribal, the family knowledge has been deleted, and now we have the social media crap filling the minds of young kids. So I would believe that, Watchman. That's absolutely viable. Hello, by the way, if I didn't say hello earlier. Anyway, folks, look, this kind of stuff, this ambush that this guy did in Idaho has happened before. It's really hard to prep for, but it's important to understand how these people think and what they're acting like. So basically, if they're already expecting to end badly and they're on a mission to cause hurt, begging and pleading for your life won't work. They've already decided they're going to remove other people from the planet. If they're going to shoot me, they're going to either have to shoot me while I'm punching them in the face, or they're going to have to chase me. Either way, they're going to be tired, or they're going to be dodging bullets coming back at them, whatever the case may be. But standing there and trying to reason with them, both the cop and the federal agent who were teaching this class said it doesn't make sense. He said 85 to 90% of the people who run and get cover properly wind up not having a fatal injury. He said it doesn't mean you're not going to get hurt, but pay attention to what's around you. And if you see someone, it's going to be 104 in my part of Texas today. If I see a guy in a trench coat at Walmart, that's not right. I'm going to be watching his ass. So anyway, folks, you guys be good. I just wanted to share that with you. I am done with my graduate class. The program is ended. I'm waiting for final grades and the grade on my paper. I had a final and a paper due the same week this last week. So that's why you didn't see me as much. So hopefully I'll get back to some kind of schedule this week. Anyway, folks, look, you guys be good, be safe, be careful out there. And just learn, if I can find the video where they do the run, hide, fight, and the guy breaks it down. He doesn't make it like frightening. He's like, look, if this happens, don't freak out. These are the steps, and this may increase your safety by 80, whatever his stat is. It's one of those videos that deals with a very frightening and concerning topic in a very practical way. If I can find the damn video, I will put it in my community page. No, it's another FBI guy. No, it's not an FBI guy. It's a criminologist from, God, where is he from? Boston or something. But they're all in this circle. Like, all these guys study this stuff. And they, when you listen to 3 or 4 of them, they all kind of have their own little flavor. But they do speak to kind of the same theme and the same trends as what they're seeing. So, but yeah, remember, these kind of folks, and I think the guy in Idaho they found deleted, and I don't know if he got deleted or he deleted himself, but again, that was the outcome I was expecting. He wasn't going to live through this, because either the cops were going to get him or he was going to get himself. So these people don't intend to survive their incident. The only thing that would scare me more is if this was a dry run for something else, and they wanted to see how will this work with modern American training, because they've done it to the Israelis, they've done it to the Jordanians, they've done it to the Egyptians, and those guys have a methodology for responding to these staggered attacks. Do we? And do all of us? Maybe New York City does, but does little country town with 10 deputies? They're not going to be able to manage that kind of situation. And they call the state troopers, they're going to be an hour away. So yeah, the cops can only do so much, folks. And we just got to be smart in the way we do things. Be alert, be knowledgeable. If I find the video, and if I find that FBI guy, because I heard he made some YouTubes, I couldn't find them, I will also share those as well. But you guys be good, be safe out there. And You guys take care of yourselves. Be safe.